Round 3 then at Lommel. Qualifying races A and B coming up. We're on the line with qualifying A, and away they go. And I wonder who gets the whole shot here. Etienne Bax looking very, very strong. You'd expect him to be, wouldn't you? Because he knows he's got to deliver here, because this Lommel circuit is his home track. He's got fans, friends, a whole host of people coming along to support him, and he does indeed get a flyer from Marvin van Leeuwen and Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset there in third. Those are the top 3, and all these guys are in with a chance of the championship, even though Koen Hermans missed the first round completely due to concussion. He's fought back, and he's under 50 points, something like 47 points behind Bax, who is leading this race. Bax also has a host of other people closing down in the point standings, and then Van Leeuwen out, and that actually transpired to be a stiff steering damper, which once they'd got it free meant when he rejoined the race he had no steering damper at all, and that makes it very, very difficult to ride. Meanwhile, in that confusion, Hermans had muscled his way past Etienne Bax. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard were in a strong third place at that point when Van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax got going again, and you can see the way that bike is shaking its head that there is virtually no steering damping. And let me tell you from personal experience, they are almost unrideable without a steering damper. But they did well, this pair. Not for nothing was he a world champion. Not for nothing is Robbie Bax a former world champion as well. They know this game intimately. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard still in that strong third were pushing on very, very well. And this boy leading the British Championship as he came here to Belgium. So he's having a good season. He's at the top of his form. He's overcome all those injury problems, and Brett Wilkinson is riding strongly. And it was good to see him in qualifying Group A fight like he did, with Joe Millard doing the most amazing job. They have really clicked together. Gert van Verven and Ben van den Boogaard were flying, and then their hands went up in the air. They had a mechanical problem, and their qualifying race was over, and they were destined to fight from last chance. So Gert van Verven, a strong challenger in the championship, was out of the qualifying Group A. The rest of the guys coming up, fighting through, Ian Copse and Mr. Lowe, a name I'm not familiar with, but a new passenger with Ian Copse. And looking over his shoulder, Brett Wilkinson knew he had company. It was Tim Lefferink and Kostas Paletskas, just as Brett Wilkinson's radiator let go and there was steam everywhere. That bike was overheating. He would be lucky to bring it home to the finish. He'd have to nurse it home, and that is exactly what he did. There was no point fighting hard when you know the bike is sick, and that bike was indeed very sick. Steam coming out everywhere. Over the line to take victory, Koen Hermans and Nicolas Mousset, and they're home and dry, about 3 seconds ahead of Etienne Bax's Czech passenger Ondrej Čermák, who, having led from the start, still are guaranteed a good gate position. Tim Lefferink, from last on the grid, fought his way up. Incredible, incredible finish for third place. That was nothing short of amazing. Qualifying Group B on the line then. Who would get the whole shot here? Well, I can tell you, the man in red, the man in the middle of the picture, Daniel Willemsen, having done it 3 times in a row in Loket in the Czech Republic, did it again here at Lommel. He really can get the bike off the line. He was incredibly fast and just flew away from the rest of the pack. In fact, he pulled something like 4 seconds at one point, with the rest of them all getting sorted out. Veldman was in real trouble, having to go wide. Julian Veldman there, number 31 in the green and white, had to go wide round the bend. That was not, though, the end of his problems, as you can see. The rest of them, and of course Kurt Varick was in there fighting hard as well, the rest of them sorting themselves out. The sand was already digging out here, and that was to cause problems on some of the deep turns. Absolutely pristine condition. Nobody's throwing sand at him. Daniel Willemsen out in front, knew there was a deep hole there, and it caught some out. You can see what happens here, and coming round you'll also see Julian Veldman getting across the ruts, trying to get himself out, got tangled up on the way in with Stuart Brown, capsized the outfit. That would mean an awfully big fight back for Julian Veldman and his mega power. And of course, Would he be able to do it? Well, Glenn Janssens is an accomplished passenger. You will see at the end of this clip of film just how strongly Julian Veldman went. Meanwhile, forcing his way through, Kurt Varrick, the Estonian, with Larry Kunas alongside, charging hard as well. They are very good in Lommel. They've had previous good results here, so they know the track well, they ride the sand well, and of course the next round in Varrick's home country in Estonia. And that's where we'll be heading after we've done the job at Lommel. But there was work to do, and this was only qualifying. The boys had to work hard and do the best they could. Davy Sanders there, Davy Sanders and Luke Rostang, number 9. A good, accomplished sand performance for them. But still, Veldman making his way through the field, coming up behind the number 97. That's Wilfried Vos and Wessel Soezebeek, a Dutch crew that we don't usually see in GP action. This, though, very close to their home territory, so they were going to have a go at it, and why not? And they were doing a good job holding off Julian Veldman at this point, who was finding it difficult to find a way past. But he knows enough not to follow in the same ruts, especially if they're deep, and that's what happens. Daniel Willemsen still going strongly, but he was coming under pressure now from Kurt Varrick, who was closing him down. We've seen the veteran before grow just a little bit tired and weary, and he's entitled to his time of life. Through went Veldman. Veldman then up to second. He only had Willemsen between him and race victory, and trust me, it would not be long before Veldman took off a rip-off, got the hammer down, and the Mega flew past Daniel Willemsen. Willemsen, though, still riding that tight line, but it was over that jump that Veldman did it into the lead from 2 different separate incidents, if I can call it that. Deep sand and a wide berth on one bend, and then later in the race, capsizing, going over the deep ruts. But once underway, he was really, really charging. Veldman then, and Janssens taking victory in qualifying Group B, leaving it all set up for wonderful action for the 2 Grand Prix races tomorrow.
Passiert is er daar hier,